Stream of Consciousness is a new public artwork created in handmade ceramic and reclaimed mosaic tiles. It was produced by Think Round Inc. and created by me, Heidi Harden, working with fine artist Colette Crutcher and 60 youth from Willie Brown Jr. Academy and Thurgood Marshall Academic High School in San Francisco. We are joining Kickstarter to request a donation of $4,500 to have our artwork photographically reproduced for display, hopefully at a major Bay Area university. With your gift, we will photograph, print to full scale, mount, install, maintain, and deinstall Stream. We will also host a delightful reception for our student artist, a most important endeavor in order to maintain contact with our students until the actual tile mural is finally installed and dedicated at Hunters Point Shipyard. Stream of Consciousness was commissioned by the San Francisco Redevelopment Agency Hunters Point Shipyard Project and is part of the Cultural Historic Recognition Program known as CHIRP, one of 11 community benefits programs for the shipyard. Stream is one of 9 artworks commissioned by the agency for Hill Point Park following a national open artist search and an intensive local community outreach effort in 2009. The 9 artists were selected by an art jury comprised of representatives from the community, professional arts leaders, the developer Lennar, and the San Francisco Redevelopment Agency. We at Think Round are very pleased to have been commissioned, especially because it makes us more competitive for future competitions, allowing us to potentially produce more artworks at Hunters Point Shipyard with community children and their families. As a former resident with private studio space at the shipyard, my team and I were inspired by the majestic panoramic views of the San Francisco Bay seen from Hill Point Park. We decided to tell the story of water. Water themes link the diverse subjects of chemistry, history, ecology, astronomy, mythology, and evolution, and easily integrate art, science, and literature found in this artwork. From the overview of Stream, you will see a ribbon of quotes about water from contemporary and historic science and literature that includes 24 authors, from William Shakespeare to Maya Angelou, from Charles Darwin to Carl Sagan, with authors in between ranging from Helen Keller and T.S. Eliot to Annie Dillard and Herman Melville. We end with John Muir, who reminds us, when we pick out anything by itself, we find it hitched to everything else in the universe. Nothing could be truer than this in the story of water. As you will see in our slide presentation, this public art-making process allowed youth to create handmade clay tiles that illuminate the multi-layered story of water from the heavens to Hunters Point Shipyard. How did we do it? Each week, over 6 months of classes held in their art classroom, we met with our students for 4 hours. We had a modest but engaging library of books including scholarly texts, clip art, and coloring books about water, oceans, ships, fishes, sea mammals, and the like. Using a slab roller, our artist interns rolled out large slabs of clay that were cut to size and placed on personal palettes for each child. Our fine artists gave an overview of the topic of each panel that we were to create that day. Students found their source image from our library, drew their designs in pencil, transferred their designs by tracing over their drawings that they had laid over their clay slabs, cut out their designs, glazed their tiles, smoothed the edges, and curled them slightly under before leaving them to dry. Each tile was then fired, reglazed, and fired again for the final result. Because of the fickle nature of creating handmade tiles, only 1 in 4 tiles made it into our mural. Stream of Consciousness is composed of 24 handmade panels. Each panel is 1 foot high by 5 feet long by approximately 1 inch thick. Each of the panels tells a story in the chapter of water. We begin our journey with a nautilus shell spilling out seashells by the seashore. We then travel over the Sierra snowmelt to the California Central Valley farmlands, through local creeks, discovering native endangered flora and fauna on a neighborhood hillside, as well as key features of the shipyard itself. We travel the bay waters under the Bay Bridge, past the iconic cityscape of San Francisco, flow past Alcatraz, and rush under the Golden Gate. In the Pacific, we explore tide pools and shoreline, finding shells, crabs, starfish, and anemone. We discover sea plants and fishes of all sizes. We peer into the inner workings of a bluefin tuna with X-ray vision. Throughout the design, you will see circular insets of tile that highlight either telescopic or microscopic details of the surface of key features. For example, the craters of the moon, an endangered native swallowtail butterfly, seashore lichens, a compass rose, a sailing ship on the horizon, a water molecule, as well as the subatomic particles, up and down quarks within a water molecule. This design element is used to echo the ins and outs, the ups and downs, and all around the universe used by scientists today to explore the precious nature of water in our world and on other worlds. The design element also reflects again our call to think round. In the middle of our story, we find seabirds, sea turtles, whales, including Moby Dick, and Captain Ahab lashed to his back, taking a shower under the cascading water from Moby Dick's blowhole. We board boats of the world, fishing, sailing, junks, and barges, and find the owl and the pussycat who are still out to sea in their beautiful pea-green boat. The large ships of the oceans features San Francisco's own protectorate ship, the USS Coral Sea, with a singing sailor and a piercing quote by John Kennedy. We are tied to the ocean, and when we go back to the sea, whether to sail or to watch, we are going back to whence we came. Unperturbed by this deep watery thought, an intrepid surfer, female no less, braves our version of Jaws in a panel dedicated to sharks. As we delve the deep oceans, we encounter a shipwreck with treasure on the seafloor, guarded by a giant red octopus. Then we are guided back to the Hunters Point shipyard where we provide a detailed site map for visitors at Hill Point Park, showing you are here. We then sail immediately across the world seas through the use of navigational tools, maps, compasses, sextants, and the like. As a salty sea captain looking through a spyglass takes us stargazing, we view the constellations and astrological figures of the night sky, including Aquarius, the water bearer, the crab of Cancer, and the twin fishes of Pisces. Sailing over the Milky Way, we find Africa's Mami Wada, Mother Water, and Poseidon with his trident and seahorses. They pull us next into the land of Homer's Odysseus, where siren mermaids sing their love song. Their leader happens to favor the First Lady Michelle Obama. The sirens' hair become the threads of life, strands of DNA. On each bar of the double helix, students hand-stamp in the alphabets of the world one word, L-O-V-E. Love. The DNA strands reflect also the entwined double-headed snakes of Mexico's Aztecs, while the heads of our snakes capture the likeness of local endangered grass snakes found on Hunter's View Hill. Over the strands of the siren's hair, across the constellation of the monstrous water snake Hydra, the north wind then blows us out to sea onto Noah's Ark, surrounded by the promise of the rainbow. As we conclude our journey, we discover microscopic spatial designs of the water molecule in a panel dedicated to the water cycle and states of water, solid as snow, liquid as water, and vapor as clouds. The circular atomic shapes of water then become the orbiting planets of our solar system and those of distant suns and galaxies in our vast universe, where astrophysicists daily search for water in the cosmic search for life beyond our planet. We conclude our story of water with the awakening that the particle collisions separating out quarks, bosons, and muons at the subatomic level of water also take on the spiral shape of our galaxy, just as the Nautilus shell does where our journey began. We hope this narrative provides insight into how we at Think Round, Inc. teach thinking round through the arts and sciences to children. The 24 mosaic panels will become an integral element as the backs of 2 concrete benches that were custom designed by CMG Architecture for the soon-to-be-created Hill Point Park outdoor seating area. When laid end-to-end, stream will run 120 feet along the backs of 2 benches. It will also become a prominent feature of the design of the park that will afford both visitors and residents stunning views of the Bay region. Any support you can provide for the exhibition of Stream as a full-scale photo and reception for our youth artists will be greatly appreciated. We appreciate your time and interest in our project, and of course your donations will be fully tax deductible, and we have many fun thank you rewards for a range of funding levels. We appreciate your help. Thank you.